27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Connection Interruption podcast. I am your host, Ryan Sparks, aka Touched Artists. I'm on my own, as you can see right now. Everybody's trying to get caught up and get here. We didn't want to start too late tonight, so we're gonna jump right in. And as the boys get here, we'll have them hop in and talk about what they're playing. But I want to start the show tonight with an interesting piece. I don't know how many of you have seen this, but 1 million subs is like a huge landmark on YouTube. It's a very, very interesting thing to see people hit that mark. And we always joke on the show, Tay and I, that we're the old gamers, right? Like, we're the old guys around. Shirley Curry, the older gamer, has reached 1 million subs. And if you go back and watch any of her content, like, it's pretty fun stuff. So be sure to check her out. She just hit the 1 million sub mark. If you're not already subscribing to her, go check her out. Obviously, she's not affiliated with the show, but I thought it was a really interesting thing that she had hit 1 million subs this week. So hats off to Shirley. 1 million subs is nothing to laugh about. That's a pretty big feat for any streamer. And I wanted to share her link to her YouTube page with you all so you could check it out. Did anybody catch the news today about the PlayStation 5 Pro? That's been the interesting talk of the day. While we still have people that are trying to get a regular PS5, there was a leak expecting there to be a PS5 Pro in 2023-24 at the TCL Technology conference. Let me put the tweet up so everybody can have access and take a look at that. It's talking about video game console generations in the tweet. And like, I happened to catch this today, and I was like, wait, what? But they're expecting a new Xbox Series somewhere in 2023, 2024, and then PS5 Pro is listed in that mix. Just an interesting thing to have out there at the TCL Technology conference. I think it's interesting because we can't like get PS5s, and people are still trying to get PS5s. I had somebody ask me today if they're hard to come by. The answer is still yes. But yeah, speaking of not being able to get PS5s, let's welcome in Tay. He's hot off the. What up, Tay?
Man, hey, yeah, welcome to the world of not receiving PS5s. Yes.
Well, talking about before you hopped in, there's a tech conference going on And TCL is suggesting that they're going to have like 8K gaming at 120 hertz for a PS5 Pro in 2023, 2024. So it's just an interesting thing because you're like, why would you even be thinking of that when you can't get the ones that people are asking for now? So that was where I was at with it. So I was kind of sharing that. But it was just an interesting post. It's comicbook.com who actually put it out there and had an article about it. Is where I saw it at. Tyler Fisher is the one who put the article out, but just an interesting idea of already moving on from the current PS5 model and the current Xbox model. I'm thinking within the next 2 years, we're going to get like a 0.5 generation. I just don't know how that happens when we can't get the ones that are out now. So,
Verified facts.
So I don't know. It's just a weird one. Did you see the GameSpot article today for Grand Theft Auto 6?
No, I was trying to get to that. I was trying to. I know I'm gonna sound reckless when I say this. I was trying to
read that in the car on the way.
Yes, I was trying to read it in the car. Yes, I was trying to read it in the car on the way. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I figured as much. It's just a rumors thing. Really interesting for those people though that are into GTA. Like, there's all kinds of rumors. To me, and they mentioned it in this article, one of the more interesting ones is that it's going to have like a Fortnite style, like evolving map where like different things can happen in the world. And to me, that one's really weird because I'm trying to think like if you're basing it on the city of like Los Santos or wherever they're going to put it, like, are you really going to do something that changes like, and they change the terrain, or how would you set that up?
I'm just trying to figure out where, like, what is going to be the location. First, it was South America. Then they were going to take it back to one of the old cities. I'm up like, okay, can y'all just tell us where it's going to be?
It's got to be in the United States, right?
Yeah.
Like, based on what the game's about. Like, either United States or Mexico, maybe. Like, I don't know. I just don't see it as something you can really, like, venture out and be like, oh, we're going to go overseas with this. And you're like, wait, what?
Yeah,
I mean,
that would be, nah.
Yeah, I mean, not to bring up a sore subject right now, but, like, gun violence in this country is pretty rampant. And it is definitely an issue that needs to be addressed, but this game in particular kind of thrives on that. So I don't think you can really put that game in another location that's not considered to be somewhere like in North America and have it be successful, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, even if they did do it in North America, like add Mexico or Canada to it, something like, to where you could travel, because the base of the game is like, okay, we're doing illegal activities, so in the game.
I just don't know how you put that in another country. Well, Canada even like is super like their rate of the things that go on in GTA just is not really there. So I don't know how you would put that in there. But it's interesting.
With the stuff that's going on, are they going to push it back?
Yeah, I mean they already weren't releasing it in the next year or two.
Yeah,
like it's not coming out this year or next year. But it's interesting. There's a lot of things that are going on. Like, I think that it's June. There's an Xbox showcase coming up in June. And Bethesda Games is going to be a big part of that. I'm interested to see if they do anything else other than just Bethesda stuff at that showcase. It's Sunday, June 12th. It's a 1 p.m. Eastern time
Virtual.
show. Yes. Yeah. Let me check. I originally had checked on something, and I'm just gonna double check this right now because I'm thinking about it. Because I was trying to make sure that my schedule was open that day. I think I'm gonna do a live react show at 1:00 that day, Eastern time, because my calendar is open, and I was trying to get a guest to come on to do that show if possible, who used to work for Bethesda. So I think it would be interesting to see what they have to say and how that's going to all go. But that's going to be, it's going to be on YouTube, Twitch, Twitch ASL, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. Like, they're all going to have it. And there was a joke that there's going to be another Skyrim port. And like they said, don't rule it out. Like, that there won't be, there could possibly be another anniversary edition. Which kind of blows my mind, but I think it'll be interesting to hear what what Xbox has to say and what they're looking to do with Bethesda, especially announcing that they've already pushed back their two big titles that they were looking at releasing this fall. So
yeah, I was like, and the way things are going now, I might have to switch back to being an Xbox fan.
What's interesting, like, a lot of people talking about like how the exclusives on PlayStation are better than what's on Xbox, right? And there's nothing, like, no exclusive that makes you want to buy an Xbox. I'm just like, well, there's still people can't get PS5, so there's like this weird like push and pull. Like, you could say it matter, like, I don't know. I think if you want to play next gen and you don't care about the exclusives, then right now the best bet is to get the Xbox.
Yeah, because as many stores as I done went into, they always had at least one Xbox available.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's interesting because they have some exclusive things that are coming out, like, and then Starfield had the release date of 11/11/22. They've announced that that's been pushed back already, and that was a big hype, like, game for them. But the future of both consoles in my mind is pretty bright. Like, I think that they've got some good stuff coming out on both. I'm still shocked that there's going to be a Call of Duty this year.
Hey, did you see the rollout for that?
Yeah, and I'm excited about it because I liked the characters in this one. Because, again, we've talked about this before. This was my most played Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2. But some buddies and I were talking the other day, like, this was supposed to be their year off, we thought, like, but it looks like they're going to go ahead and roll out a new one.
And then they actually took a barge and put the cover on the barge for the rollout.
Yeah,
I was like, that was fly. That was fly. That was fly.
It's really interesting because I think it could be said that they need to do something big with Call of Duty right now. But, Warzone's still pretty active.
Very, very. Because I even jumped on the other night just to look.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are all these people doing up at this time of night playing Call of Duty?
Yeah. I'm trying to look to see how many people are on playing it right now. Because that's always the indicator, right? Like, as to how crazy it is. There's 54.6 thousand viewers right now watching people play Warzone. Like, that's a lot. It's about half of the many people that are playing or watching Fortnite right now. But I still think that's a crazy number in my mind. Like, just a crazy number. So, if you're watching us live, thank you for watching us live. If you happen to miss shows throughout time, you can actually go see those shows on our YouTube page. If you go to tinyurl.com/GameDayYouTube, you can check out all the old episodes of the Connection Interruption podcast from episode 1 all the way up, from season 1, episode 1, all the way up until
Season
this
2, episode
episode.
21.
Season 2, episode 21. So if you've missed any shows and want to go back and catch those, you can. We had a great show with NKU Esports. We're hoping to do some more things with them in the future. If you're an Overwatch fan, you can check out us talking with Chris Brown. And if you're a big PlayStation fan, we had Brian Maxberry on the show previously, former PlayStation rep, who talked a little bit about things at Sony PlayStation. So be sure to go back and check those archive shows on YouTube. Not a lot of people have gone back to see those, but I don't think that people realize they're there. So that's why I wanted to bring that up tonight.
Most definitely.
What have you been playing, Tay?
Actually, I done changed my whole list up this week except for one game. I'm playing Battlefield 2042. I'm playing that. I caught Soul Calibur. I got it for free because I had coupons for GameStop. So I actually got it for free. And then I've been playing the show. Had to get back into baseball, knowing that it's baseball season. And been trying to brush up on my 2K because I've seen a lot of tournaments out now, like the 3-on-3 and the 5-on-5 tournaments. So I was like, let me brush up on my skills because I'm pretty sure somebody's going to ask me to be a part of their team, and I don't want to be on their trash. You know, the guy that's sitting on the court, don't nobody pass it to, so you just sit outside of 3-point line.
Yeah, I get it. No, that's a big deal if you can get super active into playing it, but that's a game that I don't think I'll ever play like 5v5. I enjoy the single player on that, but like I'm not into the like be a pro mode.
Yeah, and I don't like playing with other people because people be ball hogs, and then some people don't know how to play. Then you got to carry the team, and sometimes you can't match up who you play with. And I don't want to be going off on nobody's child. So, even though they talk the most trash, I do not want to be going off on nobody's child and be getting banned from 2K.
No, I get that.
Oh, man. Excuse me.
No, I'm in the same boat right now. I was just saying, like, thinking, like, my throat is dry today. The weather change here has been bad again. Like, we go from, being 40 to 90 to 50, rainy, and anybody cuts grass and I'm broken.
And the pollen is so high here. Oh,
is it?
Lord. Yeah. Like I blew my nose and I thought I was blowing pollen out my nose. That's how terrible it is. It's like, man, what in the world? But at night it kind of like cools down. So it's like at night I can breathe. During the day it's
rough. No, I get it. So I played some Monster Hunter Rise again this week. I played a couple games at Uno the other night. I've been back into Fortnite trying to get some of the challenges done. But then this past weekend, played 3 competitive FIFA games. I went 3-0 in the online competitive games. Still nowhere near where I want to be. But like I was playing in legendary mode against the AI, and I would pick like a really bad team and play against them. And I was kind of struggling there. I lost a bunch of those. I think I lost 4 out of the 5 that I played against the legendary AI. But
that's not bad, though.
Yeah, no, like online I played really well, so I mean I was pretty happy with it, but I don't know if we're gonna see me try to get back into the competitive scene or not, but going 3-0 early was pretty nice.
Yeah, then it's like you playing a legendary against the artificial intelligence,
Hmm.
and then you get online and tear everybody up. Like, yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
I mean we'll see how it goes. I won the first game on PlayStation that I played the other day 5-1. So I was pretty happy with that. Just after not playing really competitively for a while. Mark has joined us. Mark, welcome to the show.
What is up, gentlemen?
Thanks
How are we?
Thanks
Swing
for swinging in. Pun intended.
Well,
the esports Barry White, the deep voice.
oh boy.
Oh
Yeah.
So what are we talking about here? Ryan's talking about being competitive.
yeah. So like this past weekend, I played some online FIFA like competitively, and went 3-0. So I don't know that means I'm back or I'm gonna keep going, but I mean, it
Funny
wasn't
you
bad.
say that. It's funny you say that because I somehow got the itch to be playing competitive in Fortnite again. Not really sure how, but you know, somehow. So it was like the non-building mode or whatever, and I started playing it, and then they had the Ali A skin that you could win if you played in the tournament and placed high enough. I didn't, but then for the Obi-Wan skin, I played in that. Was it Monday? And that, did all right. So did better. So we're getting better, But so yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing for the most part. I don't really think I've been playing much else actually. So
Nice. So
that's me.
we got you with the Fortnite, him with the soccer, and then me trying to get back in the 2K. So I think we might be on to something.
We might be on
There must have been something in the water, like that. We all were like, maybe we should play some competitive stuff.
Gotta be, man.
Like, I am like, I was shocked. I'm like, let me just go ahead and play some online. It's fine. But yeah, like, I hadn't been. We've talked about it. I just don't have that itch. But this weekend, I was like, since it's free on PlayStation, I'll go and I'll download it and I'll get started and see what happens. And that was kind of how it went. So, how'd your Fortnite go? Like, how many rounds did you play?
You play 10.
Okay.
Like you have 10 max games, and you also have like a certain window of time. And so if you basically like within that window, you have to score so many points, and you have to get top 50, I think. So they have different tournaments. So I played in a couple, building, non-building, just trying to get better. I mean, they're free, why not? So yeah, you can usually run through the games pretty quick if you die early in the beginning. But on the Obi-Wan one, we played pretty well. I think we scored just under 100 points, and to get top 50, you need around 150. And so,
so we were close.
Yeah, I mean, we've earned, I think, 35 points in one game at one time. So like, think about it. I mean, that was a win. So like, that's only like 2 wins away. So if we could have just won 2 more games, and like, we would have been chilling.
So were you doing duos or?
Yeah, it's me and my buddy. I've also done solo though. So like, I just bounce around, like whatever's up when like I'm on kind of thing. I'll try.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
I still haven't gotten the Fortnite. I don't know why.
It's free, bro. It is your favorite price. Free 99.
Free 99.
Free 99.
It's like the first person shooters. It's like
no one's for the most part.
Yeah, well, they're slowly slipping into first.
Yeah. Speaking of free 99, Borderlands 3 is free on the Epic Game Store right now in the US.
No, I can't believe that. I got it on the Humble Bundle like a month ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I did too. Like, but it's out there for anybody who's interested. I figured I'd throw that out there, especially if you're playing Fortnite. You've got the Epic Games store if you're on Fortnite. And again, Tay likes that free price point, but they have the mega sale going on right now on their store too. So stuff up to 75% off, and then there's different games each week during this. Like it's May 19th through June 16th, I believe is the dates. But they have a bunch of different games available pretty cheap. So. Definitely worth checking out. Tiny Tina's Wonderland's on sale already. Ghostwire Tokyo, which is one that I've been looking to dig into. Cyberpunk $29.99 may be worth it for some people with that price point.
Nah.
Tay Sifu is available for $35.99. That's your cup of game. Like,
right, I actually went to GameStop and they had it used the disc version it was still $60. I was like, yeah, I can put this back.
Yeah, that game looks really, really cool, and it's like the whole ninja thing, which I know you're into.
Yeah.
And then the other one that caught my attention, Kenna Bridge of Spirits, which is probably one of my favorite games in the last year, is on sale for $25.99. The art style and the story are just so good. I actually considered playing it again, and very rarely do I go back and play story games twice.
I can't even watch a movie twice.
Yeah, very rarely do I ever do that. So the fact that I thought about it should give you some idea as to how much I like it.
I feel like it's a somewhat short game. Is it true?
Yeah, it wasn't terribly long. I want to say I beat it maybe like 7 or 8 hours.
Yeah, that's
straight.
I mean,
straight through, or
I didn't play it all in the same day. You know, I never have an 8-hour play day. But it may have been a little longer than that. Okay, so according to howlongtobeat.com, it says 10 hours. So that might be right.
Theirs is always a little over.
Yeah, that might be right. And it says main and extras 13.5 hours. But yeah, I would say I was probably in that 8 to 10 hour time frame on that game. And I wasn't trying to rush through it or anything, but it was really, really good. I really enjoyed it.
Right.
I played it on PS5, but it's also out on PC and you can play it on PS4 as well. But I thought that game was phenomenal. So then there's a bunch of really good stuff in that game. Any other games you guys are looking forward to that are coming out soon or that you've thought about? Or
nothing on my radar right now because I don't know of any ones that are coming out per se. There might be a couple that I've forgotten about that are starting to come up. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I just haven't been in that mindset.
Yeah.
There are a couple games that are getting updates that I kind of want to go back and play. No Man's Sky has kind of been killing it this year.
Yeah.
It's came out with another update.
Yeah, it's an interesting game because I was one of the very few people that liked it off the jump and everybody else hated it.
I liked it. I just didn't like what the lies.
Yeah, everybody just said it was overhyped. And I'm like, I didn't hear any of that stuff ahead of time, so I didn't care.
Right.
So
I kind of want to get back into that.
Yeah, I worked at GameStop at the time that game came out. So, I mean, obviously I heard some things about the hype, but I had been programmed to not believe hype on games ever by that point. So, for me, that was kind of the difference there. But I've got Mario Strikers is coming out. The soccer game is coming out in 2 weeks. So I'm pretty excited about that one.
Have you guys seen that V Rising game?
No.
It's people are saying it's kind of like Valheim, but vampires. I don't know. I don't really know much about it, but I was hoping one of you guys did. But I've seen some people playing on Twitch. It looks okay. It's It's like top down in a way, but it's like at an angle. It's almost like World of Warcraft kind of like viewing perspective. The game looks all right, but I know a lot
Wait,
of
is
people
this like the dungeon crawler that's like survival? It kind of looks like Diablo to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I have seen some, but I haven't played it. I saw somebody playing it the other day, and I was like, oh, that just kind of looks like kind of a cracked out Diablo.
Not cracked
But-
out.
I mean, it's just like graphically, like I was like, oh, it just reminded me a lot of Diablo.
Right. It looks
but-
pretty cool, and there's like building editing and stuff, and like, so I mean, it looks very like intuitive, but it's like gem cutting stations, refinement, research, storage, crafting, production.
Well,
It's-
Mark,
it's-
you
there's a lot.
can get it and play it on their. You join their streamer program.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll put it in the private chat so you can see the link.
What is that? Do I get it for free?
I don't know. Well, because it says no. Hold on. It says thank you for your interest in V Rising. We welcome you to the content creator and streamer program. And we're looking forward to collaborating with you and your community. Thank you for wanting to participate in a blood-soaked adventure with us. We are still working on the V Content Rising content and streamer program, and we'll reveal the perks and benefits to you and that you'll get later this year. Please fill out this form, blah, blah, blah.
They're asking for a lot of information.
They
only
do.
20.
They want YouTube, Twitch,
They wanna give you
Twitter,
options.
Facebook, Discord.
Yeah.
Uh,
But it's only like 20 bucks, right?
It's only $20 on Steam.
Yeah, it's only $20. It's early. It's in early access. We should probably mention that, right? And there are people playing it. There's lots of broadcasts right now. Actually, on Steam, there's a live broadcast going right now.
Looks pretty cool.
It does look pretty cool. You build your own castle in it too.
Right? Yeah.
It's got some building mode in it. I could see my 17-year-old being super into this game.
This is another great Steam Deck game.
Yeah, that thing that I didn't think I'm ever going to see.
Yeah, that thing that I don't know if actually physically exists, but on my computer monitor it exists.
It's like the white buffalo, right? Or white rhino or whatever. It's just hard to find. It exists, but it's
you know, you think anyone's like sold theirs at like GameStop?
no. I think
There's a
everybody
chance. There's a chance.
everybody that got that thing is still holding on to it in hopes that it'll do what they want it to do whenever that happens.
Yeah, maybe, but like, I think there's always a chance that like somebody sold it.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Well, I'm just looking at the game releases. It look like I'm going to be going broke in October.
Well, keep in mind, stuff will get pushed.
That's a solid point.
Like,
Well, Gotham
Some stuff
Knights and
will.
Call of Duty come out
Gotham
3 days
Gotham
apart.
Gotham Knights will not release this October. There's no way. There's going to be something that keeps that game from releasing like soon. I just have a feeling.
Well, I'm kind of shocked because I'm looking at the list here and they don't even have a release date for May.
Well,
It's not even on there.
Yeah, that's just probably just because it hasn't been announced officially yet. But you know that's always in August.
Yeah, that's why I was looking. I was like, I see the new test drive Unlimited Solar Crowns coming out.
Yeah.
That looks pretty slick.
We believe that Madden will release on Friday, August 19th, according to RealSport101.com.
Wow, that's my birthday. Cool.
There you go.
Did you guys see the Modern Warfare 2?
Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit before you.
Yeah. That's in October too.
Yeah, that's 3 days after when Gotham Knights is supposed to release, right?
Yep.
Well, Tay, if they release Gotham Knights on the time frame that they say they're going to, you have 3 days to beat it before we have to play Call of Duty.
And then returning and go get Call of Duty.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't see them releasing that game. I don't see Gotham Knights coming out on time, especially considering they already killed the PS4 and Xbox 1 versions of the game. Like, there had to be something that they felt like, oh, we're wasting our time trying to put this game on these consoles, and it's just not going to happen. And there's got to be some sort of other challenges that they're facing. I just don't see it coming out on time. I would love to be wrong because I'm super excited about that game. But I just don't think that's going to happen. I don't know.
Just looking at this list, it's like it's not too much on here that I'm hyped about.
No. Have you played Lego Star Wars yet, Tay?
No, I've watched videos on it on YouTube.
Mark, how far are you?
Into what? I'm sorry. I was reading.
Lego Star Wars.
Oh,
Skywalker Saga.
not even halfway. I haven't played in a long time.
But it's so good.
It is really good, but it's like one of those games where I can't play it that long because it's too casual.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's why it's perfect for me right now. Because I can play it for like 30 minutes and be done and be like, oh, okay, cool.
It's very chill.
It's so cool.
I got Planet Zoo from the Humble Bundle.
Oh, from the Humble? Yeah.
Yeah. And I played that the other night just to chill. And then I started to fall asleep. And I was like, all right, this game's doing its job. And then I got off.
Yeah, but it is trying to relax you a little bit.
Yeah. So I need to I need to make a list, dude. I always make lists of games that I want to play. And then I knock out like 2 or 3. And then like I never go back to the list. But I just need to keep doing that because I do need to beat Lego Star Wars. There's no reason.
It's just the reason I asked is because I started playing it on the Switch. I have it on Xbox and on Switch because I got it so the kids could play it on there. And I just keep finding myself finding more and more little cute. I don't say cute cheesy things, but they're like ultra cheesy Lego type things. You know, like just little things that they've added to it to make it more Lego friendly.
Right. Like the characters
it just made me laugh and like, yeah, or like, you know, just Jar Jar's covered in fish at one point and like, you're like, what is that? And then he shakes them off and they're like the little Lego plastic fit. Like, you know, like I'm just like, so that's really cool. I just think they did a really good job on that. And the storytelling in it is fantastic. I think it might be the best Lego game they've ever made. And I thought Lego Batman 3 and then Marvel Superheroes 2, like the Avengers game, I thought those two were phenomenal. I think this might be better. So
I would agree with that as far as like the best Lego games, but like I think Lego games are one of those things to where like whatever the newest one is, it will continue to be the best one. But I think also this one just being everything as a whole, Star Wars, is what really seals the deal. Like it's everything. You know what I mean?
Well, do you think that could possibly, like when Game Awards come out, is Lego Star Wars going to be nominated for Family Game of the Year?
Yeah, family probably, but Nintendo will probably win.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's Mario games coming out.
Yeah, nothing beats Nintendo.
And that Switch Sports came out.
Yeah,
which essentially is Wii Sports, but for the Switch.
I really want to get that,
dude. They have weekly things that you can unlock by playing, like for your avatars and stuff.
Okay.
So it's super cool. But I'm hoping to play some of that this weekend. Actually, I'm going to take it over to a friend's house, and hopefully we'll get some of that in on Saturday. I hope. Crossing my fingers, because I think that's more fun to play with people in the same room. So,
yeah, it's one. Wii Sports is definitely one of those like I feel like most Nintendo games I enjoy are party games to where I need other people to play with.
Did you like the Mario Party series?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, those are always good for that thing too. But I mean, like the racing, the sports games, like anything.
Party games. Mario Kart. Yeah, Mario Kart, I think is always one. I think the new Super Mario Brothers is fun with 4 players. It's a little bit of a different experience, but I think it's fun with 4 players.
Yeah.
But again, you're more into multiplayer than I really am. I'm looking forward. So I was listening to a podcast. This is funny. While we're on a podcast, I'm going to talk about another podcast. But I was listening to a podcast that was like, I think it's called Remember the Game. I'm going to look it up. Where's my phone? I'm just going to look at it, make sure I got the right one.
Not a promotional mention. So
No, it's not at all. But I think this guy does a pretty cool job of like, Tay, you would like it because it's like old school games, right? Like they're talking about like their favorite games of all time. It is called Remember the Game. And they have almost 200 episodes at this point. They're about 30 minutes long a piece, but they talk about like old school, like SNES, NES, like it's a bunch of old school stuff. And they were talking about Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, which is my favorite Zelda game ever on Super Nintendo, right? And they're talking about that game, and all I kept thinking was, man, I never finished Breath of the Wild. I should really go do that. They weren't even talking about Breath of the Wild, but like I immediately was like, oh, I still have to finish that because when's the second one going to come out? Sometime next year. I got to finish the first one first, like before that. So I just keep catching myself like wanting to go back and bust out a bunch of single player stuff.
Yeah, speaking of that, I need to get one of my systems out the shop. But go ahead.
My single player run will be next fall/winter.
Yeah. Which one?
Typically like when it gets that time of year, I just play a bunch of single player games. So when that time comes, I don't know. But it was like last October, I beat a bunch of single player games, a bunch of horror games, but horror games aren't made enough to where you can do that every October, unfortunately.
Speaking of that, you know one game I regret buying? I'm sorry. But Friday the 13th. Because it was
it was free on PlayStation Plus, or I would have never gotten it. But it looked cool. I thought the whole concept was interesting.
It was fun while it lasted.
But
yeah, it's like after people died off playing online, it's like, hey, can we get a story mode? Like,
or give me bots that are actually functional.
Right.
I don't know. I think that there's options out there. Like if they wanted to really keep it alive. But what's scary games like? I don't want to get on too much of a tangent on different games that we're like interested in or what we're thinking about, but like I'm not a huge horror game guy, which we've talked about before, but Mark, what games are you like? What horror games did you really like?
Both Outlasts. What's the one? I'm trying to think. It's not Alien Isolation. That's another good one. I've never played any.
When that game came out, it was a flop.
Really?
Wasn't that the one?
Good things.
I thought that was the one that was like god awful on the 360.
Oh, I don't know. I played it on a PC. I loved it. I recommend that game for sure. Great game. But I've never played the Amnesias. I've never played Five Nights at Freddy's, but you know those always get ranted and raved. The Biohazard Resident Evil games. Those are good. Trying to think what else. But I mean those are some of my top ones. There's one called is it Doors? I'm trying to remember what that one's. There's one where you just open a bunch of doors. And that one's actually okay. That one's kind of get the play through, gets old, but definitely
Is it behind doors?
No. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know.
Death's Door.
No.
It's not that one.
Probably didn't have door in it at all, to be honest.
Doors is a first-person logic game where you traverse a strange world in search of bacon.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess that's not it.
It's probably my Steam library, but that one, That one's a good one too. I'm going and trying to pull up my Steam now to look through it. But I mean, those are all solid. I mean, the Outlast. I really like the Outlast. That's a good way to go.
Yeah.
So
I'm very limited on how much of that stuff I can handle. Like a lot of times, I'm just like, nope. I want to post an article. This was not in our original show notes, but I think people will find it interesting if we can actually. I don't know if you can actually view it or not without a subscription, and I don't want to give everybody like, "Hey, go subscribe to this." Yeah, I think you have to subscribe. But there's a print magazine out there called From Gamers Magazine, and they have an article in this month's or in this issue. That is, what is Sony's future in the gaming industry? I think it's a really interesting read. So anybody that is interested in kind of where they're going with that might be interested. You can get the digital download on the PDF. And again, they're not affiliated with us. It's just something that I've read.
Well, give us a little snippet here. I mean, what is their opinion? Like, where do they think they're going? Like, is it like away from gaming or something?
It's just kind of one of these things where it's like, like where can they go if they can't get consoles to people? Like, it's another one of those things where you're like, like you're not getting the consoles out there. Like, people want your stuff. Like what can we do to help you get through it? And like essentially it's like still talking about console wars, right? And PlayStation Now and the streaming aspect of it and how they can do all this thing. Like they could win the battle of having the best console, but lose the war, like the console war, because they're just not getting this stuff out there to people. And that they're like, one of the subtitles in the article says comfort breeds complacency. And I find it interesting. So when I was with GameStop, we used to talk about this a lot, and I don't know how much you may or may not agree with this, but like I felt like the PS2, like the PlayStation 1 was by far better than the original Xbox. Right. And then like you have 360 that felt like it was kind of taken off over PS3, right?
Yeah, for a second. It was.
Yeah, and then the PS4 was better than the Xbox One. Like would be like kind of what I feel. And now it looks like we're back on the other train. Like Xbox is better than PS5.
Yeah,
that one's hard for me because every single like first party game that I've played on PS5, I have absolutely adored. Hands down, I've loved them all. But I feel bad because I feel like every time I talk about one, I'm just rubbing it in Tay's face that he doesn't have PS5 yet.
Yeah. Just like you rub Madden in my face, PS5.
Well, like I don't feel bad about rubbing Madden in your face. I feel bad about the PS5 thing because genuinely, you're a PlayStation fan. You want one of those consoles. I literally send you every time I see a store that says they're getting restocked. I send you the link every time.
Hey, I definitely appreciate that.
Like I see it and I'm like, oh, gotta send this to Tay. Like it's like instant. I'm like, nope, that's who it's going to. Send it right now. But like, it's just so frustrating for me to be like, I think Ratchet and Clank could have been one of the best games that I've played. And the whole time I played it, I just said, man, it really sucks that not everybody's getting to play this. Like, and that's kind of where my mind is on it. Like, I just think that like, and this article is really, really interesting because it really is like, I think eventually we're not going to buy disc-based games. I think Mark's a prime example. Like everything is digital for the most part. I have a digital PS5. I didn't buy the disc-based one. mainly because it was $100 cheaper, and it just made sense to me at the time to try to save the $100 because of financial reasons. But then I get frustrated when I see a sale on a game at a store and it's not on sale on the PlayStation Store.
Yep.
But for the most part, I still hold out now, right? Like I'm not getting everything at launch unless I know I'm going to play it at launch.
Right.
But I think Sony could do so much more. And Game Pass has kind of been taking some heat this week. And I kind of want to dive into that before we wrap the show today. Because the free with Game Pass thing, we talk about that a lot, but we also know that it's not really free, right? But Kotaku put an article out that said after years of hype, the Xbox Game Pass burnout is here.
Oof. It's a hell of a title.
Eris noticed this came out on Monday. And I remember seeing it and going, "Oh, that's going in the show." Like immediately, I was like, "We're talking about this."
There's some truth to that, though, is there not? I mean, I don't own it, but I could see that being a thing eventually.
Well, here's the premise of this article, and I don't mind like reading the majority of it because people can go read the whole thing. I'll put it in the comments here. It's not a paid article. It's not behind a paywall, so there y'all go. You can see where it's from. Typically. It says, typically when Game Pass starts trending, it's either because it scored a killer game or some influencers concocted a viral joke. And it says, ultimately, that does nothing other than hand $2 trillion corporation 2 days of free marketing. Over the past few days, however, Microsoft Games on Demand program started trending for another reason. Players say they're unsubscribing for now. The burnout largely comes down to subscribers saying that the Game Pass isn't delivering on its value proposition. For a monthly fee, Game Pass grants you access to a Netflix-style library of games that you can download to your Xbox or PC, in some cases where it's compatible. But the big selling point is every first-party Microsoft game hits the library at launch, meaning subscribers get access at no extra cost to Microsoft's prestigious first-party releases like Halo Infinite or Forza Horizon 5. Now, I'll stop there. This is not part of the article. Name an Xbox first-party release that's released in the last 3 months. Like, we're pretty hip into what's going on in the industry, right? Like,
Yeah.
There isn't one. There really isn't one. So, while, yes, they're getting every first-party Microsoft game at launch, there hasn't been one that has launched since Halo Infinite.
Yeah, that's been what, about 4 months?
5, 6.
It seems like forever ago. November 15th.
Now, I mean, is that Microsoft's fault, or is it just kind of? I mean, we kind of reach these spots during the year, you know.
I agree with you. So that's where it gets interesting for me, because just because the first party AAA titles aren't coming out doesn't mean there's not a bunch of great games on Game Pass to still play, right? So Bethesda announced that they're delaying Starfield and then Redfall. Those were the two big Bethesda.
That's no surprise, but yeah.
Yeah, right. But those were expected to launch day one on Game Pass this year. And it's like it's $15 a month to be part of it. There's nothing coming out that anybody really wants. Like, there are still some really good games out there, though. Like, Guardians of the Galaxy is on it now. That was Tay's Game of the Year last year.
Yep.
Tunic is phenomenal. Just a lot of like indie bangers would be the way I would put it. Right? Like games that you wouldn't necessarily play without them being on Game Pass, but then because you have Game Pass, you have access to them. And I think that's what's interesting for me, because there's an article back in April from Kotaku that was talking about the 24 best games on Game Pass. And Tunic is one of the ones listed on there. But
That makes
that's. I mean, it's the 12 best games on Game Pass.
I mean, that's a solid pick to put on Game Pass.
Yeah,
I mean, you can just tell
Shredders,
from looking at it.
like Shredders is on there. Like, there's just some really good stuff. Like, Death's Door was part of Game Pass, which I loved that game. I just wonder, for the average fan, not having Game Pass matters, right? Like not having AAA games on Game Pass. But you think for the hardcore gamer who's really looking just for something that's like, this is a great game, I don't care who made it. Like, do you think that those guys that play kind of like we do are really looking at that going, man, that's a disappointing service right now?
Maybe if they play PC and like I don't know. I think if you depend on it, because like, do you think those people have to exist, right? Where they don't even know any games. They just play whatever. They only have Game Pass.
Well, yeah, I'm sure that there's people like that.
So like,
I think that's probably a thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think for them, then I would like be really bad because all they have to play is like free to play games and whatever's on Game Pass. If Game Pass is really lacking and you've played everything that's on there, I could see that being terrible. But I think it's only so much Microsoft can do, and I think regardless, even when there is like a slump in it, it's still a great service. I mean, even it's never the Netflix. Sometimes you go through like a dry area where there's nothing really new being added. You kind of, some people cancel, most probably don't. You just kind of go outside or something.
I'm guilty. I cancel.
You cancel, huh? Well, that's honestly good on you.
I cancel. Hey, but before we get out of here,
why? I just want more information.
No. Like, reason why I canceled Game Pass, because a lot of the times when I went on there looking for games I really wanted to play, they weren't on there.
Well, the reason I'm asking why you canceled, because a game that you had been waiting on literally just hit it.
Which one?
Sniper Elite 5.
Okay, all right. Let me scrape up $15 real quick.
Like, that's why I'm like, why did you cancel? You were literally sitting waiting on that game to come out. It's out now. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate. Bless you.
Thank you.
I'm playing devil's advocate here, Tay, because I feel like we've talked ad nauseum, and you hear it nonstop that Xbox Game Pass is the best value in gaming.
Sure.
And I think to a certain extent it's true, but if you're just looking for the AAA Microsoft the first party releases, you're getting nothing right now. So I don't know if that applies to everyone that's like, oh, I want that first party stuff. Like, because I was super excited when Halo came out. I was really excited when Forza Horizon 5 came out that I didn't have to pay anything extra to play those. I will definitely play Sniper Elite 5 just enough to see some bullets go through some skulls. But that's not a game that I'm buying separately. I'm just not. I'm not paying $60 for that. But because it's on Game Pass, I'll play it.
Play it till you get tired of it, and then undownload it.
Yeah, and then undownload it. Like, I'll just uninstall. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
No, I know we at 9:01, but before we got out of here, I'll put in the notes. The top 10 must-play games of 2022 so far. All right, I'm gonna go from the bottom. 2K22, Call of Duty Vanguard, Madden NFL 22, Call of Duty Warzone, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Among Us, Fortnite, The Sims 4, Grand Theft Auto 5, and guess what the number one game was?
Hold on. Is it a new game or is it an existing one that's been around for a couple of years?
It's been out for a while.
Did you say Fortnite?
You already said Fortnite.
Yeah, Fortnite came in at number 4.
Okay. And you said Call of Duty Warzone.
You said Among Us.
You said Madden.
Minecraft.
Yes, Minecraft came in number one.
Minecraft still number one.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, they do a lot of
I
good
thought about
things
the
to keep
Twitch
that
list.
game alive.
Is that bad? How I usually tell popularity in games? I just go to like the Twitch browse list.
Well,
Like,
no,
I didn't
that's
even
why
go to
I
it.
looked.
I didn't
That's
even
why I
go to
looked
it.
earlier to
Yeah.
see how many people were playing.
I was like, what do I usually see at the top? And I was like, Minecraft is. I thought it might have been League of Legends. I'm surprised that's not on there.
Yeah, Elden Ring came in at number 20.
What about Valorant?
But didn't everything that he read wasn't everything that was read console? Like, I don't think there were any PC only games on that list.
No.
Oh.
So I think it's probably console related. Would be my guess.
Yeah, I gotcha. Well, that makes even more sense.
So speaking of League of Legends, did you guys watch any of the Cincinnati Fear League of Legends qualifiers? Did you catch any of those?
I caught a few.
Yeah. So they actually have to.
You lose him? I thought he was pulling a trick.
I think he's froze. Connection interruption.
It's all right. He's still here though. He's still he's well,
he's out there, ladies and gentlemen. His computer has emotional damage.
You know what's interesting is I don't even know if we can end it. I think we should just leave. It'll be a blank screen.
Right.
So anyway, I guess we'll just fill the empty air. Huh.
Yeah. So what games did you play this week? Because we didn't get
it was just Fortnite. It was just
Fortnite.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there've been I don't know. There's like games I'm finding that I want to play again, but it's like, man, like I haven't been playing that much, and it's also been beautiful out here in Cincinnati. We've been really lucky. We got Memorial. How about this? We'll switch things up a little bit here to end it. What are you doing for Memorial Day weekend? Anything fun?
I will be actually packing up because I'll be in my new game room by the 17th.
Very nice. Very nice.
So there he is.
There he is.
Emotional damage.
Everything went black, like the whole screen. Like it was just like boom, you're gone.
R.I.P.
Yeah, we were just talking about what we're doing for the holiday.
Yeah, Memorial Day weekend. Got any
I
plans?
was gonna bring that up. Yeah, so my oldest is playing in the President's Cup soccer tournament this weekend. So he has games Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And if they win 2 out of the 3, they'll move on to regionals, and then if they place at regionals, they can move on to nationals again.
Very cool.
I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It should be fun. But what I was trying to get into before my PC froze, I don't get League of Legends.
Yeah, me neither.
That's where I was going. So I watched pretty much the entirety of the qualifying matches for Cincinnati Fear to move to the next round. I have attempted to play League on a number of occasions. I still just don't get it.
I don't understand how to play. I don't understand how to watch. I just don't like watching. I guess I get, like, I know what they're supposed to do, but playing is so much harder because, like, I literally don't know how to kill people in the game. I can kill the minions all day, and I'm pretty sure I've said it on the show, but when it comes to player versus player, I don't know. I must be pressing different buttons than they are.
Well, like, I know my experience has been, like, I just get called a noob all the time because I'm trying to learn the game and the community is semi-toxic. So that's been my experience with it. But I was like...
My bad, I'm sorry.
Like, it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, I'm in the new lobby. Like, there's a lobby that you join because you haven't played, right? Like, you have to play so many games before you're allowed to play anything ranked.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in there for a reason. Help me figure this out. I want to like it. I loved the Blizzard one. I cannot remember the name of it off the top of my head right now. But Blizzard had a MOBA that came out as well. And I played it a ton with some people from Heroes of the Storm is the name of it. Like I played a lot of that with some of the people that I worked with at GameStop back in the day. Like we used to play it on a regular basis. Like we'd make time at night to play that game. But I just don't get League, and I really want to. So if anybody's watching and you get League and you're willing to like help me figure out what I'm watching when I'm watching these games, like I would appreciate
I got
that.
friends, but I don't know.
I don't know. I watched the interview with the coach, and there's like I'm watching what's going on. I kind of understand where they're coming from, like, and how some things work. But I just wonder if like that level is just too far beyond like what I'm doing. I do find it interesting. Like I loved some of the names. Like Jake's Kittens was the team name. I thought that was kind of funny. Taco Gaming was another one. Fish Taco, Team Fish Taco was one that they played against.
Interesting. Very, very simple team names.
Yeah, like, and then there was like 300 Proving Grounds was like the Maryville Esports from Maryville, Tennessee, I think, was playing in it. Third Party was probably my favorite logo, probably because it had pink in it. I was super excited to see that. But I mean, there's some cool things out there, like, and I think I could get into it, but it's just a little over my head right now. Like, I get that it's team based and everybody has their own thing that they have to do, but there was just too much going on, and like the camera would jump from like one player to another to different things, and I'm just like, who am I watching now? Like, how am I supposed to know who's doing what?
Right.
So, and the thing that's funny is like I watch CS:GO and I see that and I get what's going on.
Yeah, I think it's just because it's top down. I think you lose a lot of that because it's top down.
That's possible.
You know what I mean? Just because like when it's first person, you can kind of understand it because like there's not a whole lot going on, but like if you're top down, there's a lot that you can see. There's like you could have every player in the game on your screen at once, and there's just too much to watch. Not counting the other minions, and there's also dragons and mini bosses in that game that you can kill for XP to level up. So,
Too much. Reminds me of Final Fantasy.
Oh, it's not that. It's not that in depth. Like it's just that it's multiplayer, and I'm trying to figure out which player I'm watching and how I'm supposed to know, like, if they're a ranged attack or if they're the tank or like.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't get, like, there's so many characters like that they could possibly play as that I that's where I get lost.
That's a good point too. And then there's items in the game too.
Yeah, the characters are what throws me off. Like I don't know which character does what. I don't think enough to be good at that. So that's probably why. But oh well. But hats off to Cincinnati Fear for advancing to the next round, and hopefully within the time before they have to wait a week, like they have a week before their next round of games. Hopefully in the next week I can watch enough that I can kind of figure it out. Let's hope.
Yeah. I'm about to go research on YouTube to see what's up.
Dude, it's a rabbit hole. It like I tried, and there's like all these tutorial videos, and I'm like, there's just too much. Like just too much. So I guess that's a good place to end for the night. It's like, hey,
Yeah, then we got to figure out what Mark's doing for the holiday.
So my friend's birthday lands on this weekend, so probably just hanging out with friends and family, and cooking out, enjoying. It's supposed to be beautiful this weekend. I think Friday's supposed to be a washout potentially, but then last I checked, the weather said Saturday, Sunday, Monday beautiful. So
cool.
Maybe take the kayak out on the water.
Oh, that's right. You bought a kayak.
Yeah, I've had one. I just finally re-registered it, but so hopefully taking that out on the water, we'll see. I think I've gone fishing twice so far this year. I've only caught a
Yeah.
bluegill, so I need to work on that.
One bluegill.
It was a nice bluegill, though. I will say it was a pretty big one. People actually eat those.
Yeah,
What?
they do. Yeah, people
they
eat
do.
bluegills.
Oh yeah.
Bluegills. Yeah, hey, bluegills.
It was-
When I've
Sam,
gone
this one
fishing,
was
I
big
want to
enough
say
to
that's
eat.
like the most that I've ever. Like, that's what I always caught the most.
Yeah. I was hoping to get like a smallmouth bass, but my buddy got one.
So
I
this what you do. The fishing trick 101.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't use worms or night crawlers,
Spam.
it-
Spam. Say
no.
spam.
yeah, you can use spam
Spam and
or chicken breast.
Interesting.
I've used Spam and Wheaties. Spam and Wheaties balls.
Yeah.
We used to catch
Yeah,
the
the
bass
Wheaties
at,
balls.
like,
Yeah,
Cumberland.
the Wheaties balls definitely work.
Been a long time since I've been fishing there.
Well, we'll see. I'm gonna try to fish off the back of the kayak if we go somewhere.
That'd be
chill.
fun.
Yeah, because it is technically a fishing kayak because it has spots for poles. But anyway, we'll
I didn't
see.
know that was a thing, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's got like 2 spots in the back to like basically like the cup holders for fishing poles. But yeah,
Very cool.
yeah.
So,
So we'll see.
Question before we get up out of here. What's up with the bucket on the mic stand?
Oh, I thought it looked cool, and
I'm sorry. Let me find out.
I was
your
waiting for him
version.
to bust out some peanuts like you're at Texas Roadhouse or something.
Right.
No, it just looks
Peanuts
cool.
and sunflower seeds.
I mean, it is technically like a twisted T bucket, but look at this. We got Memorial Day coming up, and we got 4th of July right behind that. America parties with tea. It's got an eagle. I'm pretty sure it's a play on the Boston Tea Party.
Boston
You know what I
Tea
mean?
Party, yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, I need that bucket, and so now I have a bucket.
Okay, so
If you guys have
one other
ideas to
question.
if you guys want me to put things in it, I will.
I have one other
But-
question about things behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a wine bottle with a Bengals logo on it?
It is. So my dad bought me this. Apparently, they only made so many, but it's actually etched into the bottle. It's like etched into it.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like actually in the bottle. So that's pretty cool. So he bought me that, and then it goes with the
Yeah, the
Money
helmet's
Mac.
been back there for a couple
Yeah.
weeks, right?
signed by Money Mac. So yeah,
Very
I
cool.
need to clean it up. There's actually some stuff fell because my one light randomly, speaking of horror games, fell and just like on this table and just like I was like, okay. But it's like what freestanding light stand, and I'm like it stood there for eternity. And then also one day I like came in and everything was just like my monitor was turned and everything. I was like, geez. So anyway, yeah.
No, I get it. I blurred the background this week because I'm in the process of redoing the area behind behind me on the camera. So
Maybe I'll put the bucket closer to the mic so that way if I ever have like a drinking stream, I'm ready. If I've had too many.
it'd be good, especially if you're playing VR.
Oh gosh, that's such
When's
a
the
bad
last time you
idea.
played VR?
It's been a while. Probably the beginning or the end of last month. I was actually thinking about busting it out again, but so I'm trying to play with my buddy again because we'd always play together, but he's been moving into his house, so I think he got internet like a week or two ago, and now I'm starting to convince him. But the other problem is he's now working nights, and
Oh, yeah, that's
So-
a problem.
and then during the weekend we're hanging out, so But soon, I want to play soon because I want to get back into the Call of Duty style one.
Well, I will have mine soon, so I add you.
Okay, yeah, for sure. And we can go to the virtual casino together since that game's free. And I can see what other
That
games
would
you
be
have.
funny. It'd be funny for everybody to be in the casino.
Yeah, do they keep updating that? They're coming on a lot of updates for that. So I need to check it out so I can update you guys on how that game's going because that game is like the future as far as like metaverse stuff goes. Not exactly like the best idea, because it's gambling, but that would make sense though that casinos become like the first virtual reality world to like be like crazy realistic because like they have all the money to invest in it, right?
Yeah. I'm waiting to. What do you? like I know some casino games you play. Once you get to a certain point, you actually win cash money, or is it just all virtual money?
It's all virtual money. Now you can buy virtual money with your real money, but there's no reason to do that. You can get it for free. You might just want a lot for whatever reason.
Gotcha.
You don't want to put any like real money into that. Because every day you get additional stuff, right?
Yeah. Every day you get a free spin, or actually it's every 8 hours you can spin. Plus, there's no getting money out, so it's like V-Bucks. Once you put it in, you can't get it out.
Yeah, I'm definitely not doing that.
Yeah, that's nuts.
There's no reason.
I do enough with V-Bucks. I don't need any other thing possible you get me for more. All right, everybody. Well, that's going to be our show for tonight. We will see you next week. Be sure to give these guys a follow. Next week's show will be at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
Cutting it back an hour.
We're going to push it back an hour. 1, it makes it easier for Tay. 2, I have to work some soccer tryouts until like 8:15.
Daylight savings time.
It's also gives you some more time to be outside in the beautiful sun.
True.
If we have that. But we also want to see if our audience would prefer a later time slot.
There you go. That's a good point too.
Because we have been at the 8 o'clock time slot, and I know as it's nicer out and it gets closer to the summertime, more people want to be outside as long as the sun is up.
Right.
So we will promote the heck out of it with a 9 p.m. start time next week and see how that goes. But thanks for watching, everybody, and we will catch you next week here on the Connection Interruption podcast. Follow DJ Tay Boogie. Follow Swing Live. You can catch me, Touched Artist, on every form of social media. And we will see you all next week. Again, 9 p.m. instead of our usual 8 p.m. time slot.
Peace.
See you next time.